Steelers Nation. First and foremost, this may come as a surprise for those who've been watching the channel the last few weeks. The digital platform that I've built here is going into early retirement. I've made a decision to go back to the old school, natural, authentic background. And, but being honest, man, I really like it. Now, I will be changing this up a little bit from what you see here tonight versus what you'll see Sunday night for Sunday Night Football. But, yeah, man, how's everybody doing this Friday night? I hope everybody had a great week. And realistically, we're going to be kind of speed running through this. That's why I decided to go live early. I'm going to break down the injury report as of today. Going to give you guys my thoughts on what the Steelers are going to have to do Sunday night against the Chargers. And considering that they're coming into this game with a lot of guys, a lot of key guys, not on that roster. Steel Twin says background looks good. Yeah, it could be better. You guys know that. You know that. Which, Twins, by the way, that stuff we were talking about, it is happening. Tomorrow, I will be setting everything up for Sunday night. But the JBN, as what we called it before, the JBN/KSN digital laboratory, whatever, is officially retired. Fiend says background looks good. Guys, come on, man. We got the bookshelf back here. It's all screwed up. It's okay. You can tell the truth. It's a mess. I got to be honest. I like being completely honest with you guys. And don't judge me, okay? Seriously, don't judge me. One of the reasons, or the reason why I'm cutting this stream short is because the new Ghostbuster film came out. Now listen, before you judge me and call me a child, I've been waiting 30-some years for this movie. So I'm going to go see it tonight with the wife. It's a good, we're going to have a good time getting out. And, yeah, man, I've been waiting forever for this movie. So don't judge me for going live early and getting everything that needs to be said about Sunday's game out of the way. Now, let's get into chat, man. Let's see who's all in the building. We got the Fiend, as always. That needs to be a shirt at this point. And he says, hey, Kold Steel, what is going on, bro? We got Trey in the building. Is this Claypool and Najee gonna go off? Harris, I believe you 100%. Claypool, yeah, we'll see. We'll see what Claypool does. He has as many touchdowns this year as James Washington. So I really hope so, though. Trey says the Chargers have the worst run defense. Yeah, and honestly, just judging off of that, I mean, Harris should have a big day. Well, big night. But we'll see what happens. We will see what happens, man. Trey says, why was I thinking this was pre-recorded? Yeah, it's live, man. We are live. And I'm going completely unscripted at this moment. In fact, let's go ahead and transition, man. And let's talk about, before we get into the injury report, because I was looking at the injury report and I'm kind of confused about something. I did not see Ben Roethlisberger's name. In fact, let me pull that up quick here. I don't see Ben's name in this list here. And it got me thinking, well, what the hell's the update on Ben Roethlisberger? Well, shout out to DK Sports. I'm sure most of you guys know who they are. They have an article. It says Roethlisberger's availability remains in doubt for Sunday. So for those who dislike Mason Rudolph, this is probably not the kind of news that you want to see. But it looks like it's probably going to be one of those situations where we'll get an update, as they said here, Saturday at 4 p.m., which I believe, yeah, is the deadline. So we should have an update by tomorrow. I was kind of hoping for an update today on that situation, but as Trey says, Ben is expected to play. That's what I heard as well. I mean, no doubt the situation is just messy in regards to how they prepared here, unless, of course, the media and or Mike Tomlin is blowing smoke up our asses. I don't know. But this whole situation is a little messy. A little messy. But, and of course, Minka will be out of this game. Although, as you see in the article as well, there might be a chance he plays Sunday because he's not listed on here either. However, here is the list for Sunday night's game, man. Joe Hayden will be out. And yes, that is a big deal in my book. Even though he's getting up there in age and he kind of slowed down a little bit, took a step back, I still think he is our best corner easily on the roster. Trey Turner had full practice Thursday and Friday, so I assume he'll be ready to go. Kevin Dotson out. That is bad news. TJ Watt is out. And of course, we knew that coming into this game. And that is absolutely bad news. The bad news. Cameron Hayward had full practice Thursday and Friday. So we can expect him to be back, including Chase Claypool. Now, he had full practice on Friday, but Thursday he still had some limited practice. So, I mean, I got to be honest, man. I don't know what to expect from Chase Claypool at this point. I really don't. Healthy or not healthy, it's just been a down season for this guy. And then last but not least, Loudermilk is going to be out. And then, of course, on the Chargers side, I mean, talk about the NFL having so many injuries. The biggest name, of course, is Justin Herbert, but he had full practice pretty much all week with the exception of Wednesday. And I got to assume he'll be in. We'll see. Trey says, hope he's not playing hurt. Yeah, me too, man, because you guys know how that goes. A guy gets, his pride gets the best of him. But I'm sure Mike Tomlin's going to handle that situation. And I agree with Leedy, what Leedy just said. He says, on paper, we have no business winning this game. But then again, that's where the Steelers play their best football. Yeah, we always... We give, the teams that we're supposed to lose to are the teams that we actually most of the time do good at or do good against versus the teams that we know we're supposed to handle business and we end up keeping it close, which is what we saw this season and prior. It's stupid, man. It is absolutely stupid. Local Bands says this game is going to be all eyes on Tomlin and how he gets this team ready when they're missing so many starters. And Sunday Night Football, biggest stage outside of Monday Night Football. You're going to want to make a statement in this game. Whether it's going to be Big Ben Roethlisberger or it's going to be Mason Rudolph, the offense has to find a way to make things happen, find a way to be successful, which is also bipolar purgatory, says Steelers Freak. This is also going to be a good way to transition, though, into what I think the Steelers are going to need to do to win this game. And it's really not a secret, man. I feel like every week I could say the same exact shit, and it makes sense. But we already saw it in chat, man. With the Chargers not being that great at stopping the run, Harris is going to have to play a major key point in this game. And the last few weeks, we saw the Steelers have found success at running the ball, including against the Lions. So this is kind of just a no-brainer. Find a way to get Harris involved. Once you find success with Harris, your next step has to be opening up the passing game. Opening up the passing game, man. That means play actions, hitting guys down the field, target the middle of the field for Christ's sakes. Get Freiermuth involved because last week he was pretty much non-existent. And then in overtime, of course, he had the fumble. But I digress. We're not going to get into that. That was last week. This week, Freiermuth has to put that behind him in regards to the fumble. He needs to get all that out of his head, and he needs to get out there and produce. But he can't produce if the quarterback's not throwing his way. Which is why we're really going to have to depend on either Mason Rudolph or Ben, whoever it is, to not only produce on the field, but to make no mistakes in his game. Now, I've been getting on Ben's ass all week about comparing him to Mason. But I will say, regardless, like me and the Twins have these conversations all the time in private. Even though Ben has thrown, I believe, 4 interceptions on the season, there was at least 6 to 8 other times where he threw picks that just were not caught. But in all fairness, these last few games, Ben hasn't thrown an interception. So if Ben is the starter, he has to keep that streak alive in this game. And as Still Dictate said, this is going to be a rough game. I don't think any of us are going into Sunday night expecting this team to blow out the Chargers. I mean, am I accurate with that? And by the way, it is hotter than shit wearing this in this house right now. Yeah, Steelers Freak says the patchwork offensive line is troubling, especially, like I said, Dotson's out of this game. Dotson's out of this game. Turner, we don't know 100%. He had full practice Thursday and Friday. We don't have any update on Banner, as always. So we don't know if Banner's finally going to get himself injected into this offensive line or not. And honestly, I'm not surprised about that either, because here we are Friday night. As DK Sports has posted here, we don't even know if Ben's going to play in this game. But hey, the Pokemon says, yes, I think it's going to be ugly win this weekend, but we will get the job done. I hope you're right. I really do, man, because at this point in the season, and I mean, no offense to those who want to see this team succeed. I think we all do. The thing is, though, and I keep saying it, I'm a realist. I am 100% a realist. And I'm telling you now, if we lose this game, the only way the Steelers are going to make the playoffs is if the rest of the AFC North continues to play like shit. That is literally the only way we are going to get anywhere near the playoffs this season. And I don't know about you, but I'm not hanging my hat on that at all. So it is what it is, man. I want to say of course I'm looking forward to Steelers football Sunday night, but this season has been such a, I don't want to say Super Bowl XL kind of season, but it really is bizarre. To put it bluntly, it's been a very bizarre season, not just for the Steelers, but the entire NFL. And if you want me to be even more specific, the AFC North this year has been completely strange. And I'm not the only one that feels that way. Like, it almost doesn't seem real that there's not one team in this division that has any sort of control. Which I suppose maybe that's a good thing. But again, I just don't know how excited I can be about this team at this point, week 11. And for those who continuously say, well, we still have time. I mean, the season is more than halfway done. And this is exactly why early, before week 1, I was criticizing the team, saying that they weren't prepared properly for the regular season. And people told me, no, we'll be fine. But I saw these patterns back in like week 2 of the preseason, where, and I know it's probably normal in a lot of cases, but this was a very unique situation the Steelers came into. Being that the offensive line was very young, didn't have a lot of time gelling together. So in my opinion, I thought it made a lot of sense for this team to do things together. And I'm talking about number one, the first offense. Getting together in the preseason and figuring things out then. Not waiting till week 1, 2, 3, and all the way up to now to start gelling. I don't know about you guys, if you remember the preseason, Ben and company really didn't have much time on the field. They focused a lot of time on Mason versus Haskins. And there was maybe a game or two where they were trying to give Harris a lot of carries to see what he was capable of. But outside of that, it was a lot of depth guys running the offense and defense. And I'm not saying you start these guys for 4 quarters in a preseason, but you got to give them at least a quarter or two, especially, maybe week 3 or 4 in the preseason. But that is my thoughts, man. Defensively, I honestly, this week, I can't tell you. I can't. We have so many holes right now, TJ Watt being one of the biggest. I can't give you guys an accurate opinion on this defense, on what we should do against the Chargers, outside of the obvious. But there's not a specific place I could say, this person has to do this. Because we're going to be missing Hayden. We're going to be missing TJ Watt. We're going to probably be missing Minkah. I mean, those 3 guys alone, that's your defense. Devin Bush has been obsolete all season due to, honestly, I don't know. It could be because of the injury. Could be many different things. I honestly don't know what the issue is with Devin Bush, but he hasn't been good this season. But offensively, they got to run the ball effectively. And they got to stop being afraid to run or throw the ball down the field, to stretch it out. I can understand in the Lions game, it was a very bad weathered game. You got the rain, the cold, those 2 things together is a disaster in football. But there's just no excuse this week, man. You won't have the weather as an issue. The biggest problem coming into this is we have a lot of key players not on the field. But if they run the ball, they stretch the field, they get away from the stupid RPOs, the slants, the 5-yard passes, continuously relying on an offense that, in my opinion, was built for Ben Roethlisberger. And yes, there's been times this season where Ben has went deep down the field. But I almost wonder, is his arm as good as some people make it out to be with this sort of offense? It's hard for me to believe that. If I'm being honest, it really is. Steelers Freak says what made it worse is the Lions are a dome team. Tell me about it. Tell me about it, man. Trey wants to know why we're not using Buddy Johnson. That's a good question. There's a lot of guys on this roster that we could say that about. Why we haven't been using Buddy Johnson. Honestly, I'm sure Tomlin has his reasons. But, man, what a strange year. What a bizarre thing, man. Now, let's get into the main topic that I had for tonight. And I do have it on the screen here. Is the Steelers season lost? This is a question that you guys in chat can answer, and I will read them off and respond. But I'll start by giving you guys my thoughts on that question. And then once we get done with that, like I said early, for those who are just tuning in late here, tonight is going to be a shorter stream than what I normally am going to be doing on this show, as I will be heading out with the wife to go enjoy a movie and enjoying my Friday night. But is the Steelers season lost? You guys in chat chime in on this. because I'm curious to see what everybody's feeling. So I'll give you the simple answer first. The simple answer is probably not, and here's why. The AFC North, as I said earlier, is an absolute dumpster fire, which means any of these teams in this division could easily make it to the playoffs. But if you want to get the complicated answer, I am going to put my marbles on this season not panning out the way people think. And as Still Dictate just said in chat, a big fat no. Still Dictate says no. He doesn't think the season's over, but my no is based on I don't think they're going to get far. If we make it to the playoffs, I just don't see a Super Bowl caliber team right now. I really don't. Just like a lot of people can't see Mason Rudolph being a little bit more than average, I can't see this team going far into the playoffs if they make it. I feel like there's too many teams ahead of us that would easily remove us from a playoff scenario. In the playoffs, that is. Do I think we could still win the division? Yes, but not because we are the most dominant team. I mean, for Christ's sakes, we already dropped a game against the Bengals. Leedy, that is the most spot-on fucking comparison I think I've ever seen. He says AFC North, as of right now, looks like the NFC East. And I wouldn't just say that for this season. I mean, the NFC East has been... They've had a lot of years where they looked pretty bad. And I've never seen this division this bad. Meaning the AFC North. I've never seen it this bad. Ever. It's different, says it's over. I mean, I'm going to be here every week making new content, even if the season goes bad in the long run here, but I don't know, man. The Pokemon says it's just been a weird year, bro. Yeah? Steel Twin says when you get sent home on Friday. That is good news, bro. Maybe you guys want to join us at the movies? Let me know. Text me. If you actually did get off early, man, maybe you guys should join us. We're going to be leaving in the next hour or so. My brother V's in the building. What is going on, bro? He says, I personally think not. However, I think the tie will hurt y'all in the long run. That's what a lot of people think. V says, do you think that tie could hurt you? Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Now, I will say this, though. The tie was against an NFC team. So if I had to pull any kind of positive from that situation, that would probably be it. Yeah, man. It could save us. It could hurt us, as Leedy says. You just never know. It's one of those things, man. It's one of those situations where it's really dependent on all kind of scenarios. And as many of you, and I agree 100% have said tonight, the NFL has been a very strange, in 2021, it's been very odd. Very weird season, man. I mean, even the Super Bowl champions, the Bucks, don't look 100% like, the most dominant team on the field in certain ways. And even they themselves are having issues with personnel. A lot of teams are suffering injuries. It is so freaking bizarre, man. I can't figure it out. The Pokemon says, you know what's crazy? The Ravens almost lost to the Lions, if not for a 66-yard kick from Tucker. And thank God they have Tucker, man. What a kicker that guy is. The Fiend says, did I hear about AB? I did. If you're referring to the vaccination card, I did. Do I think it's true? No. I think Antonio Brown over the years has created a lot of enemies. I think he's put himself in some bad situations. Unless something came out since yesterday in regards to that, from what I remember reading, I don't think there's any truth to that whatsoever. As hard as that is to believe. I just don't. But that itself is kind of strange. But I really don't think there's anything truth to that. It's different, actually agrees too. He says there's no team that's really dominant this season. There just isn't. There just is not. But that is my thoughts, man. That is what I think Sunday night. Again, I want to kind of go over it. Offense, got to run the ball. But we also got to pass, man. We got to find a way to get that passing game going. And right now, I just don't see how these dink and dunks are working. I just don't. Defensively, I mean, that's up in the air. There's just so many key guys out in this game. It is hard to pinpoint. It really is. Especially with TJ Watt being out. That really sucks. And I honestly, I mean, let's be honest. A football game or a football team, football in general is a team game. But man, it is hard to say TJ Watt is not that effective. Like, normally one guy can't affect an entire side of the ball, but he does. He really does. He's that disruptive. And honestly, almost every game, they could probably flag a lot of the offensive linemen that he goes up against for holding. It's different, says, is Chase out? According to the Steelers' website, he is not listed as out. And he did have full practice today. So he did have full practice. Game status is still unknown at the moment. Thursday he had limited and Wednesday was limited. That could probably be the only negative you can see here. But with him having full practice Friday, I imagine he should be in this game. The only people that so far have been confirmed out is Joe Hayden, Kevin Dotson, TJ Watt, and Loudermilk. Even Minkah Fitzpatrick is potentially going to be able to play in this game, which I need somebody to explain that to me because, I mean, he tested positive on Monday. So I'm not sure what the timetable is for that. But this is according to DK Sports website here. Cannon, what is going on? He says, what's up, Kold Steel? But yeah, that is the latest in regards to Steel Twins confirmed Minkah is out. And so does that boy Devin. So there you go. Minkah is out. I was going to say, they actually just didn't have him listed on here. Now, as far as Ben goes, they have till 4 o'clock tomorrow to announce whether or not he's going to play in that game. That is the league's deadline for personnel to be listed in or out of the game. So there you go. Minkah is officially ruled out, confirmed by chat. I was just thrown off because he wasn't listed in here. I'm guessing because it's not technically an injury. Although I've seen them list illnesses on here before, so kind of strange. Maybe I should go with ESPN's website. I don't know. But Minkah being out, TJ Watt being out, hell, even Loudermilk being out, Joe Hayden not being out there against a Chargers offense that should have Justin Herbert in because he had full practice. It's going to be rough, man. I mean, we were already struggling with TJ Watt and company on the field. And our run defense has been absolutely trash lately. So it's going to be an interesting game regardless because we really don't know what we're getting into. And as far as Ben goes, because I see that Bands is kind of confused about the situation as well. The thing about Ben is, yeah, he should have been back by now. But I remember reading something this morning that said that Ben has came out and said he's actually suffering some pretty bad symptoms from this. So that might be the situation where Ben's illness is a little bit more serious than some other people's have been, and would also explain why he's been ruled out. Of course, he's waiting for medical clearance. Steelers Freak says they will wait until the last minute to announce Ben. They might be saving him for the stretch. That's true. And I'm going to say this, man. Can we all agree on one thing? I know some people don't like Mason. I get it. Everyone's entitled to their opinions, their feelings, especially about a player. And I just realized the fucking blinds in the background's bothering me. They're all crooked. Don't judge me. I don't know why that threw me off. Ben and Mason Rudolph, in my opinion, they have very similar stats. But can we all agree to give whoever wears that helmet a chance and not trash the guy? Like, I mean, let's just be a little level-headed this week. Let's if Mason's the guy, let's cheer him on. Let's hope that he does the best. Seriously. At the very least, is that what we could do? Although, I mean, I'm not speaking to the majority because majority is not watching Kold Steel content, unfortunately. But for those in chat, I mean, can we at least agree to give this guy another chance? The Pokemon says the loss wasn't on Mason. No, it was not. It was not. And I'm really not getting into that because I feel like I beat that dead horse all week. I still, believe it or not, an hour ago, somebody was responding to that conversation. And I'm done. I'm not even responding to anybody's comments anymore about Mason Rudolph and what happened against the Lions. I'm over it. 007 said Mason's receivers dropped balls. That's a fact. I mean, we've even had a NFL player, former NFL player, come out and said that in that specific pass from Mason Rudolph to Ray Ray, it was mostly Ray Ray's fault. Even though Mason didn't throw the most prettiest pass there. So, I mean, it is what it is. Local band says Mason did everything he can. If it wasn't for the two fumbles. Absolutely. It was those two fumbles that cost us the game. It's different, says Mason is decent trash. Oh, man. It's decent trash. That's hilarious. Well, we've been streaming for about 40 minutes. I said I was going to keep it short. Normally, these shows are going to be about an hour and a half to 2 hours, depending on, whatever topics we're talking about. And eventually, I keep saying this, but I've been wanting to get people to call in, but I'm having trouble getting the Discord set up. Like half of the time I'm in my Discord, I don't even know what the fuck I'm doing. So if any of you guys are good at Discord, let me know. Reach out to me. Let me know. Follow me on Twitter at Kold Steel 412 and send me a message and let me know that you are good at Discord and we'll have a conversation. Because I don't know what the fuck I'm doing in that program. And I want to get it set up so that we can do call-ins. But, yeah, I'm going to get on out of here. I'm going to go see the Ghostbusters movie, man. Again, don't judge me. I've been waiting 30-some years for this damn movie. So I'm going to go see that with the wife. Maybe the twins. I don't know where the twins went. I'm assuming they got off early. Maybe. But you guys enjoy the rest of your Friday. Enjoy the rest of your Friday. I will be live Sunday night. Pokemon says, love, bro. Enjoy the movie. I definitely will. I hope so. I've heard good things. So. But, yep, that's going to be it, man. I will see you guys Sunday night for the watch party. As the Steelers take on the Chargers. See, look, it's different, man. He's putting the laughing emojis. Stop it, man. Steelers Freak says, are you? Yes, I will be doing play-by-play on Sunday night. So you guys can look forward to that. Sunday night, in fact, I think we're going to go live 20 minutes early Sunday night. It's going to be a long one, man, because we're going to start doing the post-game in the live stream as well. So, but that said, I'm going to enjoy the rest of the weekend. I hope you guys do too. Make sure you hit that like button before you get out of here. I always forget to tell you guys that. I know it's not, the first thing you think when you get on the channel, but hit the like button. If you're not subscribed, subscribe to the channel, man. And I'll see you guys in the next one.